Hey guys, welcome to today's video. Today's video is kind of a video that I don't really make too many videos on. I made like smoking stories, but I want to try and make more videos like this, and they're fun to make. I don't know how long this video is really gonna be, but hopefully it's gonna be fucking entertaining. But today's video we're gonna be talking about, is it worth getting a med card? And I feel like those many positives and some negatives to it. There's multiple ways to get a med card. You could get one when you're a child, not really through your name, but more of through your parents' name and your parents' consent. So that's the big thing, is like the parent signs off saying yes, this would medically benefit my child, and it's usually for bigger cases like harmful illnesses or like big like mental, like I wouldn't want to say issues, but I would want to say like mental problems and shit like that. Just bigger cases of that, not of, oh, I feel a little down, or oh, I just want to get high, but pretty much besides that, most people usually get a med card at the age of 18, and that's the thing is, a person has to be above 18 to purchase from like any marijuana place, like storefront, if they sell medically, or like pretty much just, yeah, medically. And then recreationally purchasing is 21 and up. It's kind of weird, but yeah, pretty much I recently got a med card, and it's pretty nice. There's a lot of online sites that you could get a med card off of, and yeah, you don't always have to go into a clinic like most of them say and talk to a actual like therapist and do that huge fucking process to get a med card. Most of them are online, and a lot of them online are sometimes scams, or sometimes they just want to fucking take all your money and then be like, oh, here's a piece of plastic. One thing is, if you do it online, I would say go through NuggMD. I'll have a link in my description below, but definitely go check them out if you do end up getting a med card. Go through them. It's like a fast ass process, like dead ass. I got my med card fucking in 30 minutes. It was fucking easy. I got in about 30 minutes. Got the email with the document saying that I'm a med patient. Pretty much was able to buy weed the next day. And yeah, it was nice. And then they sent me my official document through the mail, and then I paid an extra $20 for an ID to pretty much say I'm a med patient, which is nice. And it was only about $59, so it's pretty much $39 to get the document saying you're a med patient. And then if you want to take the extra step and have the card, it's an extra $20. So technically I'm saying is, you don't need the card, but it just comes in handy if you don't want to carry around a fucking document all the time. But pretty much those two things that come into when getting a med card is when you're above the age of 21 or 21 and you have a med card, you're pretty much just avoiding getting taxed out the asshole. The thing is, when you're buying recreational marijuana, they usually tax the fuck out of you. They'll tax you an extra like $15, cause fuck, it's weed. They could tax you however much they want. You're about 21 and you have a med card for whatever reason. Yeah, you're avoiding the taxes, and you're also possibly getting some extra benefits. But if you're under the age of 21, say you're like 18 like me, or 19 or 20, most storefronts are recreational, so you're gonna have to go through a delivery. And if you have no deliveries that do medical marijuana, or storefronts that do medical marijuana in your area, you kind of get fucked over. So that's one big thing to look into before getting a med card, is to see which areas serve medical marijuana to people 18 plus with a med card. The thing is, I found that out because I went to a storefront when I got my med card, and they're like, oh, you gotta be 21 plus with a med card. I'm like, what the fuck? That's not normally how it like works. But then I throw a huge Karen fit about it. I'm like, oh, okay. And I just dipped. But I knew there were delivery services. That's why I just was like, okay, whatever. And pretty much then I found out that there was a medical and recreational. That's a big thing to look into if you are under the age of 21 with a med card, is to look for the medical. Don't just go for recreational. and most places are usually medical and recreational if they are delivery services. But yeah, that is just one thing to look out for when going to storefronts. And the other thing that I really like about having a med card and then buying fucking weed off the fucking street is most of the time, your shit's good. Like, it's easy to, if you know a lot of people who sell in your area, and just pick the sketchy people out of the non-sketchy people, the people who don't rip you off, the people who give you good bud. It's good to pick that out and find the one person that gives you a lot of bud, and that is good bud, and that is healthy bud. That's bud that's not moldy. That is bud that's not just been sitting there. It's like fresh bud. Yeah, you could pick those people out and find them, and they could give you good deals. But most of the time, it's kind of hard, definitely for me. Like, why I got a med card, a big reason why was I moved to a new city where I knew no one, and I had no plugs. So it was kind of like, fuck, I'm kind of forced to get a med card at this point. And the thing that's nice about having a med card, no matter what, most of the time, your shit you're getting is going to be good quality shit. Like, you're going to get a nice high off of it. The percentages, the THC percentage, the CBD percentage, what strain it is, you fucking know, it's good quality shit, it was grown by a professional. I know so many times where I would buy off of a plug and be like, oh, what kind of bud is this? Like, what strain? And I don't know, it's just some shit I got. Like, that was so, like, I'm not saying every plug was like that. And near the end of where I was living at before, I had a good plug, and he always knew his shit and was on top of his shit. But a lot of people just in high school and shit were like that, where they didn't even know. And I remember one time there was like a kid hitting a cart that was dead ass just pitch black. Like, it was fake as hell. And that's the big thing. If you like smoking carts, say you're not even a bud person, you don't really smoke bud too much, you're more of a cart person, unless you have a good ass cart plug, you're probably smoking on some fake shit. And that fake shit will end you up in the hospital. So I would say it's either find a person that's very trustworthy with carts and that that like the carts are 100% real, or just straight up just going to a dispensary. Those are the two like good ways of obviously getting a good cart. And I'm planning on making a video in the future going more in depth of how to tell if your cart's fake and shit like that. But pretty much that's the big thing, is the fake cartridges will fuck you over. And that's another thing, is people don't really lace bud too much anymore because it just costs more fucking money to do that. But sometimes people do lace bud, and that's another thing you gotta watch out when buying bud from the street. But if you're buying it from a dispensary or a delivery service, your shit's not laced, your carts aren't fake. You're not like you're putting in toxins in your body, you're just putting in CBD and or THC. Like, yeah, it's obviously not healthy to smoke. There are obviously negatives to it, but you know what I'm saying. You're not like inhaling the fake chemicals that they put in fake carts. And that's a big thing I want to make a video about, is like fake carts and the damages it can have on someone. But besides that, I would definitely say it's worth getting a med card. It's just you gotta look into a few things before getting one. And the things would be like, is there any medical and recreational storefronts in your area that serve medical patients and recreational? If not, is there any delivery services that do that? And if there is, then do it, go for it. And if there isn't, then you're kind of shit out of luck. But most of the time, in most areas, since it is getting more legalized and in more states and shit, more dispensaries are opening up, more medical dispensaries are opening up, and more services, like delivery services, are opening up, which are medical and recreational, which is really nice. And then also, just one thing to kind of wrap up this video. I kind of like doing deliveries over fucking storefronts, because storefronts tend to tax you more money. They tax you between $10 to $20, depending how much fucking product you buy, how much weed you buy. And I've noticed with, at least for me, the delivery service I go through, I buy a half-gram cart and an eighth of bud for $40. They charge me $5 for the delivery fee, then that's it. And then an extra $3 if I use my card. So at the end of the day, yeah, it's like $50, but I get a cartridge, which I know is safe to smoke and inhale. I get bud, which I know is good quality bud, and it's a win-win. And usually a lot of dispensaries also switch the stuff up, but also they don't do it instantly like how most street plugs would just sell, and then buy whatever bud next to sell that shit and try and make a profit. Well, dispensaries will have like the cartridges or types of bud they have for sale for not multiple months, but sometimes depending on the strain and how much of that product they have and how much it sells. But usually they have it for like a month or two, and then they switch it out with a new product. So if you really enjoy a product, you could keep on like enjoying it and rebuying it if you want to. And it depends obviously on other people's opinions too. If the demand on that product's really high, it's always going to be though, but the demand's kind of low, it's always going to fade. That's what I kind of like, that's what I kind of like about dispensary. So the good stuff always stays, and then the bad stuff kind of fades out, and sometimes you get a really good strain out of it, or you get something you really like. And it's just always also nice because sometimes a strain you really like might get boring after a while, so it will come back, but they will replace it with a different strain, so you get something new. So that's what I really like about dispensaries as well, and there's more options too. But besides that, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, hit that like button, subscribe, turn on notifications, and I'll see you guys all in the next video. Bye, guys.